Some good, a little bit of bad, and some stuff that was just kind of there. I'm John Renton with my review of WWE NXT. Typical NXT this week. A couple matches that bookended what was not a mediocre show, but there are just some feuds and everything on the NXT brand, especially in the last year or so, that I just don't care about. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Lorcan and Birch took on Ciampa and Thatcher in a non-tag title match. MSK were unable to compete due to injury. And, well, Ciampa and Thatcher said, hey, we're going to go brutalize these guys. And just uppercuts, fists. I mean, when you get four high-level workers fisting each other in just a wrestling ring and nowhere else, always delete your search history, kids. You are going to get a pretty damn good match. This is the kind of tag action that I enjoy because these guys worked well together. Thatcher landed on his head after a huge lariat. That looked brutal. He kept holding his neck, but he would stay in. Ciampa got a hot tag. And even did the pat on the back thing after they were beating up Lorcan and Birch double time. That was pretty cool. Everybody get in here, and then Imperium shows up and distracts Thatcher from being able to make the tag. And then the draping DDT, 1, 2, 3. And later this gets referenced like, what the hell's going on? Roderick Strong in a questionable choice of color of pants. I don't understand why in the world he decided, that particular color was a good idea to wear, but it is what it is. He wants answers from Cole. Finn shows up. You think he cares? I mean, he doesn't. And Strong, blames Finn. Everything was fine until you came along, Finn. Finn, it's your fault. It's your fault, damn it. What the hell's wrong with you? Breaking up this group that was obviously going to break up at some point. And it's like, it's like basically, I know how to get him out here. It's going to be me versus Adam Cole next week for the NXT Championship. Okay, they're going to turn this back. Obviously, O'Reilly and Strong are going to prevent Cole from winning the title because there is no reason for Adam Cole, to win the title back. So, Finn says to Strong, you will never be a leader. You have to get that killer instinct. They have a bit of a brawl, and they're going to have the main event a little bit later. Wade Barrett is the remote correspondent. He's just somewhere in the abyss. Maybe in Dexter Lumis's van. Who the hell knows? Cut to the Florida Psychiatric Center. The way, go to therapy. Okay, let me just say right now, I love Indy Hartwell. This doesn't fucking work for me. This is bad comedy. This is stupid. Anything involving the way. If Indy isn't talking, if the camera isn't on Indy, I really don't care. Because I think Indy has a bright future, and she is getting over in spite of how bad this is. Indy loves her some Dexter Lumis. I don't know who this was for. She was also drawing on a pad of Miss Indy Wrestling Loomis. Johnny Calm Gargano. This was terrible. The therapist kicks him out because he was being too rude. Cameron Grimes wants to change the Capitol Wrestling Center to the Cameron Grimes Auditorium. I hate the new Cameron Grimes character. I don't find it funny. I was getting really annoyed when they turned him into more comedy. Even though he can sometimes do comedy, the zombie shit was bad with Dexter Lumis, and this is somehow worse. Regal talks to him and says, well, you hit a crew member. I've got a lawsuit on my hands, or a potential lawsuit. Oh, how much money does he want? No, I'll take care of it, but you're going to face Bronson Reed tonight. And then we get Aaliyah with Jessie Kamea and Robert Stone versus Ember with Shotzi. Why are they still trying with Aaliyah? It is not that I don't think she deserves a job. I just don't understand why they're still trying with her. She's been in NXT for 7 to 8 goddamn years. And she's still there. I don't think she's ever going to get called up onto the main roster. Ember kept baiting Aaliyah. We get shenanigans because Robert Stone has to do really bad comedy. NXT does not do comedy well. WWE, to be fair, doesn't really do comedy all that well. And Eclipse 1, 2, 3. Thatcher is being interviewed backstage by Mackenzie, the beautiful Mackenzie. And, she says, what was your deal with Imperium? Like, oh, we all have a past and they just remind me of it. And Ciampa's like, well, it's just the past, right? So they're obviously going to make Thatcher a member of Imperium because Walter isn't traveling because he is too busy occasionally defending the NXT UK Championship and chopping the hell out of anybody in the UK because that's what he does. Video package on Tony and Io. They're going to have a match next week. Okay, cool. Look forward to it. Hopefully they give them 20 minutes. Give them the main event. Give them 20, 25 minutes and they can kill it. Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez versus Shayna and Nia Superior Immune System Women's Tag Title match. And oh boy, they decided to go with a screw job thing because they just couldn't figure out a way to, I don't know, maybe just have Nia get pinned. Why did they insist on not having Nia get pinned? Why was Nia's gear needing to be sponsored by Manscaped? Why is Nia Jax still in WWE? Why is she allowed in a wrestling ring is a real question. A legless water buffalo on ice. That's how she moves. She can't do anything. She's dropping people left and right. And it's one thing to have a different powerhouse style. She's not any good. And Dakota was made the target, especially her knee. Raquel got the hot tag, had to carry Nia, which is an achievement in itself. And it got messy at the end. We get the clutch on Dakota. Raquel tags in, even though actually if you rewind it back and take a look, she doesn't really make contact with her hand, or seemingly doesn't. The ref bump, the female ref that they have, I don't know her name, but she got blasted and knocked down. And, the tumble over the announcer's table by Raquel and Nia, and then the clutch on Dakota, who's not the legal woman. Adam Pearce sends a ref down from Raw and calls it the Capitol Wrestling Center Screwjob. They just can't leave the Screwjob finish alone. It is not like they're the only company doing it, but god damn it. So, more therapy. Indy wants to be Loomis's friend with benefits. To be fair, I think any guy would want to be that with Indy Hartwell, because Indy is a beautiful, statuesque woman who has a very bright future in wrestling. And Candice is texted by Gargano, what really happened when you were with Loomis, therapist asked, and then we cut to, continue later, or to be continued. Swerve is in the studio, talks about Ruff and how he just doesn't care anymore, he's gonna take what he wants. I like Swerve, and I hope this goes somewhere. LA Knight, let me talk to you, the former Eli Drake. He's not here to talk about childhood dreams. He knocks Tom Brady. Tom Brady wishes he was half the man that I was. And then runs down the people in the back. I'm not going to do flips and dives. If you show up at my door, I'm just going to beat your ass. That's not an insult. That's just a fact of life. Here's Bronson Reed. Briefly stares down LA Knight, who leaves like, nope, this is your match. He takes on Cameron Grimes. Grimes tries to buy his way out of the match. That doesn't work. Money all over the place. I like Bronson, but I didn't care about this. I really didn't. Later, LA Knight shows up, and he lost his hat. He says about Grimes, he throws a hat in the ring, and that distracts the ref. He knocks Bronson Reed off the ropes, and then cave in 1, 2, 3. Okay, Bronson Reed versus LA Knight. I'm all for it. Eli Drake, the former Eli Drake, can work, and he can definitely talk. He can sell this. Caden will get revenge on Zaya for what happened to Casey. About that. Casey apparently is out with some sort of knee injury. I do wish her the best in her recovery, and hopefully maybe she grows a brain as far as, other things are concerned, if you know what I mean. But best wishes and speedy recovery. Caden's also probably going to die next week because Zaya is going to do the bidding of the 1,000-year-old woman that made a deal with a goddamn dragon that cost her soul. I will not get over that because it is stupid. You were like, oh, it's like Mortal Kombat. Yes, that works in video games. It does not work in wrestling. Anyway, therapy session. You think Dexter Loomis is a nice guy? Well, I spoke to Loomis. He doesn't speak. He says you were the most obnoxious person that he's met. Turns out Gargano paid off the therapist. This is a complete waste of time. They could have put another women's match on or something. They could have maybe featured their tag team division a little bit better. Because Everrise is in the ring, and then Legolas Phantasm shows up and beats up Breezango, who were doing Daft Punk-inspired, some kind of Daft Punk-inspired entrance. Then Escobar attacks Everrise. Don't mistake what happened last week for weakness, because it's not. I like the talents, I just don't care about the group. Finn and Cole package for next week. Regal's announcement next week will shake the manscape of NXT. Or the landscape. The clear-cut landscape. Who knows? Strong got new music and intro. Balor vs. Strong. Takeover caliber main event as far as lineup. I mean, the match, it probably wouldn't have fit on a Takeover, but it was really good for TV. It was well wrestled as you expect. Balor staying on top of Strong again. Paige picked up. We get Bloody Sunday 1, 2, 3. And Balor on top again for the closing line. And then Adam Cole, baby, is there. And that's the end of NXT. If it seems like my NXT reviews are getting a little bit shorter, here's the reason. If there's not a ton of stuff for me to rant about and there's very little for me to praise, I'm just going to cover it and I'm going to move on from that. So it's expedient and it's quick. Let me know your guys' thoughts on NXT in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Retlin. I'll see you soon.